What's going on, guys? So in this video we are going to be building a Twitter clone using tools without writing a single line of code. In other words, we're going to be building this whole app, a fully functional Twitter clone with the so-called no-code tools. And the tool we're going to be using specifically is called Adalo. And Adalo is a great tool to build any kind of app. And so we're going to be using Adalo's mobile app functionality in order to build this Twitter clone. Now, before we go further and start building this particular clone, let's sketch out the structure. Let's build an architecture of what this app is going to look like. And for that, we're going to be using this tool here to draw out the architecture of the app, and so that there's no issues of exactly what the app needs to support and what it doesn't need to support. This is very, very important step, and I always recommend you guys, whenever you start building a new app, to sketch out the architecture and to really understand the moving pieces. And so the first thing that we have here, we have the user, right? So if I go in here, this is going to be the user here, okay? That's the first thing, right? We have the user. I'm going to put it here. The next thing we have is the tweets, right? I'm going to go in here and I'm going to write tweet, right? This is your basic two data structures, right? We have the user and we have the tweet. Now, the user has also followers, right? So we're going to have more things. They have followers, right? So I'm going to put followers here. And then the user also is following people, right? So people can follow me. So let's say I am the user. Let's say this is me right here, right? There are certain people I'm following, and there are also certain people that follow me, right? So maybe we can do something like this. We can do this. So these are the people I'm following, and these are the people that are following me. They're called my followers. And these are following, right? The kind of people. And this is me, assuming I'm the user. And then we also have a data structure of tweet, right? So a user can have multiple tweets, right? I can have multiple tweets, and each individual tweet can only be associated with one user. So it's kind of a one-to-many relationship. This is how we abbreviate it. We put 1M. This means one-to-many relationship. And that's kind of the basic structure. Now, the user is going to have various settings. They're going to have an avatar. They're going to have a username. They're going to have an email, stuff like that. And we're all going to cover that when we're going to be building that. But this is the main structure, right? We have the user. There's followers, which are also users. And then the people that are following the user, my followers, people I'm following, and then followers. And then we have a tweet, and then you have multiple tweets can be associated with a single user. And so that's the basic kind of this napkin diagram architecture, just to get us started. And when it comes to tweets, you have to understand that we also have retweets, right? A tweet can be retweeted, and also a tweet can be liked. So we're going to also have that functionality, right? So we have a tweet. It can have multiple likes, 0 or more likes, and it could be retweeted 0 or more times. Initially it has no likes and no retweets, but it can be retweeted as that. And we have to store this data on the level of the tweet itself, okay? Not to mention the actual content of the tweet itself as well. So this is your overall structure. This is kind of this overall napkin diagram. And now I'm going to head over to Adalo, and we're going to build this app from scratch. So here I am inside of Adalo. Remember, I'm using Adalo. You can get there by going to adalo.com. I signed into my account, and now I'm building a brand new app. We're going to do a native mobile app. We're going to start from a blank template, and we are going to call this Twitter app. I'm just going to pull it 2021. And let's think about the color scheme. I like blue. I don't know about you. This looks like a nice blue, and maybe I don't know, let's say, yeah, something like this, just to keep this very simple. We're going to hit create. And now we have the app. So the thing about this, what we have here is we have 3 screens. We have the sign up, we have the login, and we have a home. This is the main screen. Typically, these screens are optional. But because the app we're building is centered around users, this is going to be a required step. You can't just start using the app without logging in. Even in the real Twitter, if you go on Twitter, you have to either sign up or log in, so you can't really do anything. And so that is what we have so far. Now, the first thing I recommend is we need to set up the database. It always starts with the database. We have our users. I'm going to enter a new collection. I'm going to call it tweets. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to set up my user collection here. So we have email, password, username, etc., etc. Let's see if we can add. So we have email, we have password, we have username, full name. We might need an avatar, maybe an image for the avatar, because Twitter usernames, Twitter accounts have avatars. Avatar. We're going to have that. And then we also need relationships, right? So we're going to add a relationship to tweets. I'm going to do a user to multiple. User can have multiple. U, 1 to M, right? You see this 1, multiple. We're going to do that. And this is tweets. And also we're going to have relationships to followers and people that are following, right? So I'm going to add a new property. This is going to be a relationship to users. It's a many-to-many relationship, right? Because I can follow multiple users, and those users can follow other users. So I'm going to do this. And this is going to be followers. Okay, I'm going to create another relationship to users, and these are going to be following, right? So I'm going to say following. Okay. And so now we have all the data we have so far, and later on we can add it if we choose. That is fine to get started. Let's head over to tweets. Let's take a look at what we have. We have the name and we have the user. Okay, the user has the tweets because we have a relationship there. The other property we need is retweets. This is going to be a number. I'm going to say retweets. Okay. And another one is going to be a number, and we are going to call this likes. Okay, and that looks good, right? We have the name of the tweet. We have the user who actually tweeted it. We have retweets and likes. Okay, so this is enough to get started. Remember, by default, every collection also has the created and the updated time, right? So whenever we created a tweet, we're storing that, right? So if you click on this and you add a tweet, if you add a tweet, automatically you're going to have that created. So let's say I add a tweet. This is just a test. New tweet, user. We don't have any users. Let's say 00. If I hit save, it's going to have this created, and it's also going to have this updated here, right? And so if your tweets, if you have the functionality where you can edit tweets, this is going to get updated. If you don't, then this is going to be the same thing. All of these are going to be the same. Both are going to have the same time. Okay, so now we have a sample tweet there without a user assigned. So let's go ahead and create a couple of user records. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create 3 users. And the first user, this is going to be James. This is my account. I'm going to be the first record here. And I'm going to have a password so that I can log in. Username is going to be user1. Okay, this is James. Tweets, no tweets, and I'm going to hit save. So this is, now I created the first user. And then I'm also going to create 2 more users. This is user 2. Let's say this is Bob. Bob.com. Password is no password. User 2. I'm also going to have a password so that I can log in. User 2. And this is Bob. And I'm going to create another user. I'm going to create the last user. And this is going to be Jane. Jane at jane.com. Password. And this is going to be user 3. Full name Jane. We're going to hit save. And so now we have 3 basic users here. Okay, we have 3 basic users. I'm going to hit done. And now we can start kind of working with the UI. Okay. Now, when you're building this app, we need a couple of screens. And whenever you need screens, whenever you think in terms of screens, you want to create a bar, like a tab bar on the bottom. So if you head over to plus, add component, we're going to go to navigation. We're going to drag and drop this tab bar here. And this tab bar, and I'm going to simplify things. We have the home. Now, the home is going to have tweets of the users we're following, right? So take a look at this one, right? We have a user. So this is, let's say this is me. This is me here. I am following, let's say I am following, and let's say I'm following user 2 and user 3, right? Remember, I'm user 1. And these people are tweeting, right? They're tweeting. They have tweet 1, and then they have a tweet 2. They have, let's say this person has 2 tweets, user 2, and user 3 has one tweet, and this is their first tweet. What I'm going to be showing, I'm going to be seeing all of these tweets. Okay, if I'm following these two people, I'm going to be seeing these two tweets. And that's going to be on the homepage. So if we go back, this homepage is going to be a list of tweets from the people that I'm following, okay? And so let's fix this up. Let's fix up the tabs here. The first tab is going to be home. Or actually, I'm just going to say tweets, just to keep things consistent. Tweets. Second tab is going to be the people that I'm following, right? Following. And then maybe the third tab, my followers. Followers. And I like that it already has people icon here. We're going to do the same thing for here. People. And yeah, that looks good. We can even change it around, make it something like this. People outline, following, and followers. Okay, and we're going to disable that fourth tab and the fifth tab. Okay, so now we have a very simple UI. We can also have an account UI where you can modify your own data, but maybe we'll do that later. That's not that important. We have tweets, we have following, people I'm following because I'm concerned, and then my followers. I'm more concerned about people I'm following than I'm concerned about people who are following me, my followers, okay? If that makes sense. And so we want tweets here, right? But before we do that, we need to actually have people that we are following, okay? And let's go ahead and put it into the database, right? So I'm going to go to the users. I'm going to go to James. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of people that I'm following. So I'm the first user. I'm following the other two users. I'm going to add Bob. I'm going to add Bob here. And I'm also going to add Jane. So now I'm following these two users. That means I should be seeing their tweets. Okay, so if we go back to the tweets, here, we have one record. And what we want to do is we want to assign this. So I'm going to assign it to Bob. Okay, this is one of Bob's tweets. We have this. Now, if you go back to this diagram here, we have me. This is Bob. This is Jane. Bob has one tweet. I should be seeing this one tweet here, okay? And so what we're going to do, we're going to drag another component. We're going to drag a simple list here. We're going to do that. And this list is tweets. It's tweets, and it's not all tweets. It's logged in user, which is me, following tweets. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Now let's configure this. Title is tweet name, subtitle. So subtitle, you can have lots of things in the subtitle. You can have last updated. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have likes. I'm going to say this tweet has, that has X likes and X retweets. And then I'm going to say retweets. Retweets. And I can also have updated as well later on if I want. And so now under each tweet, it's going to say likes and retweets. I can even shorten it. I can just put L for likes and R for retweets. Very simple, right? Let's see if that updated. Subtitle. Okay. Yep, that's good. Likes, tweet likes, L, retweets R. And so now when I log into my own account, I should be seeing that one tweet there. So let's do that. Let's preview the app. I'm going to log in. I already have an account. I'm going to log in. And so there it is. There's the tweet from the other user that I'm following. This is user 2, right? There's 0 likes, 0 retweets, right? And I can also like this, and I can also retweet it. So let's add an action. I see this tweet. Maybe I like this tweet. Maybe I don't like this tweet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an action, right? We're going to add an action. Actually, what we're going to do here is we are going to do a right section. As you can see, it has a plus button. And let's say this plus button, we can make it a like button, right? So let's do this. Let's say maybe some kind of a, I don't know, do we have a heart here? No, we don't have a heart. Do we have like, love? Nothing like that. So let's see if we want something, if we can find something interesting here. We can just use a check mark, right? I mean, you can change this later. This check mark is going to be for liking it, right? So we're going to add an action, and this is going to update that tweet. It's going to update the current tweet. And we're going to say update current tweet. And what we want to do is we want to add another like. We want to take the likes that it has. We're going to go in here, likes, and we're going to add +1. And when we do that, we're updating by 1 the likes, right? So let's preview this and see how this works. So now if you click on this, you see this like, 1 like is already updated, right? So we're going to go out. So now this tweets kind of works, right? The likes works. We can also have the same functionality for retweeting as well. You can have another button here that's going to do retweet. We're going to come back to that, right? So I want to fix this right away. I want to do home. And I want this to say actually tweets, just to keep things consistent, because home is very abstract. But this is really about tweets. We're going to go to the title. We're going to change this to tweets. All right, so now we have tweets. Next is what we want to do is we want to add in a box where the user can tweet themselves, right? They also should be able to tweet. And for that, we're going to go to the plus. We're going to go down, forms and fields, and we're going to do text input. And I'm going to drag this right here. Okay, make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to drag a button, right? Button. I'm going to drag it right here. And this button is not going to have an icon. It's going to say tweet. All right, so now we have tweet here. Now we have enter text. And when they click on this button, right, so we're going to add an action. And we're going to create a tweet. We're going to create a tweet. And the name is going to be the form input, right? We're going to have the form input name. User is going to be logged in user, because we want it to assign. It's going to have 0 retweets and 0 likes. That's it. Now we created a tweet. Okay, we created a tweet. Now we can, some other people can like it. We can like it if we want. Other people can like it. And the people that are following us are going to see our tweet. Remember this. Okay, so we have this kind of functionality done. All right, so now if we preview the app, we can see that there's a new tweet from this particular user here that we already liked, that has 1 like. And then we can tweet new things, right? So I can enter, this is my tweet. We can do that. And whoever is following me should see that tweet. Now, if we go back here to our database, we have 2 tweets here. This is new tweet. This is my tweet. This is my account. And this is a user I'm following. And that is why I see their tweets, right? So I'm going to go ahead now. Let's also configure a couple of more screens. We also want to see the people we're following. And maybe we want to unfollow them, or maybe we want to find new people to follow, stuff like that. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this. I'm going to create two more screens. Okay. So now here, I'm going to call this following. Following. These are the people I'm following. This is going to be following to keep things nice and consistent. Following. And this is going to be a list of users. And this is a filter, logged in users, logged in user following, right? These are the people I'm following. And we're going to do the same thing here. Let's set the default button here. Active tab is the second tab. Let's do the same thing here. This is followers. Let's click on this. Followers. And we have, let's go in here. Title is going to be followers. Okay, and this is going to be a list of users. We're going to filter logged in users, followers, right? These are the people that are following me. And we're going to set the active tab to the third tab. Okay, we're going to delete this because there's no need for tweeting. We're going to do this. And now we have people I'm following, people that are following me, and we have the tweets. We have everything set up here. The only thing we need to do is we need to connect these two together. So if they click on following, right? If they click on the second tab, we need to add an action. We want to link it to the following, right? This should be this button right here is following, right? We want following, and the transition we want none, right? Because these are just tabs. Next, we also want the third tab. add an action, link. This is going to be followers. And this is going to have a no transition. Okay. So now let's take a look what happens. We're going to run the app. We're going to go to following. And I'm following 2 people. We need to fix this around because we copied this from the other list. So we need to remove it. Maybe we want to unfollow them. Maybe we want to follow them again. We need to change the logic here. So we're going to go back here. We're going to change things around. We're going to go to title. And for the title, right, we can have user. Actually, I want username. Okay, so this is going to have the username, right? The username. Or actually, the title is going to have the name. It's going to have the full name. And the subtitle is going to have the username. So we're going to remove all this. It's going to have the username. And you can even do it like this, that @ symbol, like with Twitter. And then we have, this is going to be the left section is the avatar, current user avatar, if they have an avatar. So it's going to display that there. If there's no image, show a placeholder, and you can show a placeholder, don't do anything. And then you have the right section, and the right section could be unfollow, right? Because these are all people that we're following. So let's see if we can find something that doesn't unfollow. Maybe an X, something like this, unfollow, right? So if we do that, we're not going to update. So this is a list. Let's go in here. This is a list of users, right? So if we go in here, the right section, it's going to update. We're going to add an action. We're going to do update. What we're going to do is we're going to update logged in user. And we are going to remove the following, right? We're going to say remove current user. We're removing that user that's displaying here from our list of the people we're following. We're just removing. We're not deleting the user. We're not modifying anything. We're just removing it from our own system. Okay, so it's not going to get displayed here. And so that is kind of what we have. We're going to do the same thing here. These are followers. And so this is a list of followers. We're going to go to the title. It's going to be a same thing. It's going to have a full name. The subtitle is going to be their username. Right here, we have the username. And now we have user full name, user username. And these are followers. And what is the option? The option is to follow them back. Right? That is the right logic. We're going to go to the right section. We have a checkbox. I think the checkbox is going to be fine here. Maybe we can use a different checkbox. Something like this, I guess. Something different. And the action is going to be add an action. We want to update a logged in user. We want to go down and we want to say following. We want to add this user as a new user. We want to add this current user to the following. Here we delete it. Here we add it. Okay, we're going to do this. We still need to create a bunch of links here. And so let's take a look. Let's just preview the app. Let's see if it's working how we want it to work. We ran the app. We're going to go to following. If I click on Jane, it's deleted. Now I'm not following Jane anymore. I can have a search bar here where I can search for Jane again and follow her back. But for the moment, I delete it. And followers, oh, we need to link this together. Let's do that. We're going to go in here. And let's link the first tab. The first tab is going to go to home. We need an action link to tweets. This is linked to tweets. No transition. We need to do this all the time. The second tab is the active tab. The third tab is going to link to followers, right? So this is going to be followers, link followers. No transition. Hit done. Okay, now this is going to be functional. And so if we go to followers, this person, I don't have any followers, I believe. I'm just following people. But let's say we're going to create a new user, and this user is following me, right? So this is going to be Tim at tim.com, and he's just following me. Nobody's following him, but he is following me, right? So I'm going to say this is going to be Tim. This is going to be user 4, and he is going to be following me. I'm going to save. I'm going to go to my account here, and he is follower. I'm following Bob. Remember, I deleted it, and my follower is Tim. So I'm going to do this here. I'm going to add Jane back. I'm going to add Jane right here. And so I'm following Bob and Jane, and Tim is following me, right? So if we go to this diagram here, I'm following this, and then we have user 4, which is Tim, and he is following me, right? Hope that makes sense. Hope you can appreciate my drawing skills here. So I'm following these two people, and Tim, user 4, is following me. All right, so now that is what we have. And let's fix this tab bar here, right? We need the first tab to redirect to the users. This is going to be linked to the tweets. We are going to do a none. The second tab is going to go to the second screen. Add an action link to following. And push is none. And that is all we have. And now we are good to go. So let's see if this is working. We're going to run this app. Now we have the tweets. Following, I'm back seeing Jane and Bob. And if I go into followers, I have this user 4. Actually, it should have the user full name. Let's go into title. Yeah, user full name. Doesn't have a full name. Let's fix that right now. Tim. No full name. Tim is the full name. And now it should be displayed perfectly. So I'm going to preview this. We're going to go to my followers, and there's Tim. And now he's following me. I can click on this, and I'm also going to be following him back. So if I click on this, if I go to following, I see Tim. I can remove them, but he's still following me. So I can add him right here. And if I go to following, I see this. And these are the tweets. And let's say I log in. Let's say I go into another account here. Let's say I create a new tweet. And this is going to be, so right now we have Bob. Let's say I create a tweet for Jane. Jane's first tweet. This is going to be Jane. 0 retweets, that's fine. Let's put 0. And I should see 2 tweets because I'm following both user 2 and user 3. So if I preview this, now I see Jane here and I see Bob's tweet, okay? So I can like this tweet. I already like this tweet. I can enter my own tweet. And so I can say my second tweet. And whoever is following me, right, this person, Tim, if I log in as Tim right now, he should see all of my tweets, right? So let's go ahead and log in as Tim right now. Let me double check the account real quick. Tim, this is going to be tim@tim.com, and I know the password. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to preview this, and I'm going to hit this button to exit, and I'm going to log in as Tim. And he should see my tweets. And so if I preview the app and I signed in as Tim, I see my tweets. These are my tweets. My second tweet, this is my first tip. And again, I can like them, and they're going to get reflected on this tweets. And I can also tweet, right? This is Tim's first tweet. I can do this, and then whoever is following me is going to see these tweets. And if I go into following, I'm following James right here, and I have no followers. But I'm following James. And so that is how you set up, you create a very, very Twitter client. Obviously, there's a lot more functionality, but the core of the app is kind of has been built already, right? Because we have our users collections, we have the tweets, we have the authorization, authentication here, we have tweets, following, followers. Another thing that you can do is you can add an account tab, right? Twitter, I believe, I haven't used the Twitter mobile app in a while, but I believe it also has a profile, right? Where you can go ahead and you can change some settings in your profile. So you can add another tab. You can add a fourth tab. Maybe this is going to be, profile. So it's already created, right? So you can have this as a profile. And all you have to do is just enable it on all of them and link it to the proper kind of window. And now you have the profile. And that is how you create a very, very Twitter client where you have kind of this following followers functionality. All right, guys, so that is the video I wanted to show you guys today. I really hope you've gotten value here. Let me know if you want me to make more of these videos. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have some concerns about some, maybe you want to add some functionality or you want to change it around. I'm open to all kinds of ideas, all kinds of thoughts, and let me know what kind of video you want me to make next. Is it going to be Bubble? Is it going to be Appgyver? Is it going to be, Adalo or some of the other tools? Let me know if you have some of the other tools that I did not cover in this video. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you real soon.